What's up, YouTubers? Today I'm going to show you how to change the power door locks on your Honda Accord 6th Gen 98 through 2002. Now there's a couple of tools you need. A power door lock. This is a genuine Honda from Amazon and it just fell out. Kind of looks like this. I already replaced the driver's side. The driver's side, I think the old ones are made in USA. The new ones are made in Japan. And they're both different companies. This is Mitsu or something like that. Alright, tools you need: a ratchet, a 10mm socket, screwdriver with a Phillips number 2 and a flathead, and probably an extension. Now first step, you're going to have to remove this little tab right here. Mine's already broken. You're going to have to stick your screwdriver in on this side. Now this little piece of plastic is about $4. It has a little cap on the other side so you can't see this little screw, so that little ugly screw right there. So try not to break it. Mine has been broken for quite some time now. Unscrew that with your Phillips. This one has like a little end that's raised. Put that somewhere safe. And then next step is to get your extension. If you have a long screwdriver, good for you. And there's a screw down there in that little hole right there. And should be able to take that out. This one's just a regular screw. You want to pop this cover right here. There's two little clips. Make sure you try not to break it because there's a little plastic tab right here that goes into here. And those two little clips back there. Now you want to switch to your flathead, or flat bit in this case. And there should be a little raised notch somewhere right here, down here. You should be able to find it. And twist it gently. This piece of plastic is very fragile and it's also very expensive from Honda. Be very careful with this. Don't lose any of these parts. And you want to, this is the passenger side, so you want to slide to your left and pull out. And you can see there's like a little hook right there that I can do. You can undo. You can do it with your finger, your thumb, or you can do the screwdriver, like so. And then just lift it, and it falls off like that. And then undo your power door lock switch. And there we go. Now this part you kind of have to be careful. There's a bunch of wires. The driver's side is a little bit more difficult because you have your security LED hooked up. You have your power windows, your master switch, and your window switches. So there's a bit more cables, but it's not harder. It's not any harder than this. Usually I start with this corner right here. There's like a little latch right here. I don't think I can get it on camera, so I'll do it off camera maybe. And the whole thing just pops up. Easy enough. Lock the door. Make sure that the rest of the car is unlocked or the windows are down. The window has to be up in this case to change the power door lock. And you should be able to just lift up from this handle right here. And be careful on this side too. Like that. And you have your power door lock, power window switch somewhere. There's a little tab. You just get and pull. And your LED, or I mean your footwell lighting, your side step. And you should be able to just set it free. Like so. I've been in here a couple times for the power window, speakers, and now it's for the power door locks. And now you have your vapor barrier. You can pull this down. And pull off. You have to be careful if this is your first time. You do not want to rip this. You can undo this little tab right here from the other side. You have to stick your hand through here to give you a bit more room. It's like little two squeeze clips, like so. You see that? Give you a little bit more room, so you can pull this out of the way. I haven't pulled it down this far yet, so this is new to me. That should be plenty of room. So now what you want to do is remove this bolt. This is the window rail. Now this is kind of tricky to put back in, so when you take it out, just look how it connects in here. It's a little bit dark. That's why you get your LED or whatever it is. Look up there. And you can see it's going to be very tricky to get out. But just get your 10mm. I mean, to put back in and not get out. Yeah, it just slides off. It's twisted kind of hard. So it hasn't been removed before. Scratch my paint. Broke it loose. Now you can just undo it. And it is a washer and a bolt. Don't lose that. And this thing just kind of fell out on its own, so you're gonna have to pay attention how it fell out, or you're gonna have a kind of a bad time putting it back on. But once it goes on, it should have like no resistance at all. It should be able to slide in and out easily, while the window with the window kind of in there. And now you have access to your power door lock. There's gonna be 3 screws you're gonna have to remove in here. There's gonna be this one, and this one. Disconnect your power door lock connectors. I'm actually using the camera as a guide. It's kind of cool. And let's go ahead and undo that real quick. I guess I won't edit this video. I'll try to make it look as easy as possible. Now these 3 screws are going to have some thread lock on them. It's going to be a little bit tight. And these are the only 3 screws you need to remove. There are a couple more screws on there, as you can see. Well, it has to be on the other side first. Try not to lose these screws. They're kind of important. Now this one can be a little bit tricky. The camera can actually stick into this hole. Your face can't. What I do is this little hole right here. You can kind of see. This is with you being outside. And you should be able to see a screw right there through that little hole. You can't even see where it is on the camera. Right there. And you just should be able to stick it in there. And you should be able to get it. It's a little bit tight, because all these are real thread locked in, because you don't want to tighten them down too tight because it's plastic, and it has to be tight because this is a door. It gets slammed, it gets shut. There's a lot of vibration going on. Now luckily this camera can fit into this small little hole so you can see what's going on. I'm gonna take a little break. It's like 100 degrees outside in the shade, and I'm sweating like crazy. Alright guys, I am back, and I'm ready to get drenched again in my own sweat. So I didn't think about this on my driver's side because I wasn't planning on making a video, but now that I'm making a video, it's so much easier to just stick your camera in here like if you have an iPhone, and use the screen of the iPhone or camera to undo those screws, instead of peeking through this little hole. But you want to be careful if this is still incandescent. Mine's an LED, so it doesn't get hot. That can burn you pretty bad. I don't want to lose these screws, so I'm going to take them out as we go. It's kind of hard to see. From my angle, it looks like this, so it's really hard. You guys have it in full 1080, so it might look easier than it actually is, and it does look easier than it actually is. It's really hard. You get these little tiny little things. A lot of details. I got this one. See how these screws have like little thread lock on them. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten them a little bit tighter when I put them back in. I don't have thread lock, so And then this one, I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm just doing it like this. That might be good enough, I'm not sure. And it is. And now you should just be able to just yank it out. Like, be gentle on it. Don't just, on the driver's side, there are like no instructions at all online, on forums, YouTube, nothing. I had to figure this out myself. You just gently pull it out, wiggle it gently. What I ended up doing on the driver's side, let me concentrate first. Sounded like I just broke something. What I ended up doing on the driver's side was I like undid this hook right here and undid like some other pulley and removed this plastic thing. I mean, I made a mess on the driver's side. So as you can see, I'm not saying USA is bad, but usually things that have USA stamped on them are pretty bad. I mean, I hate things that say proudly made in America. I mean, I respect America for that. See, rub dirt on it and it shows up. Made in USA. This is Geocom, and this is also a factory 15 years old. And this is also a factory OEM, but this is Japan. It says Mitsu or something like that. I don't know. Like this glass, someone broke into this car, and it says proudly made in America or something like that. Something like made in USA. See that? It's ATI. And this glass, I've always wanted to make a rant on this. The factory Honda glass just says Honda on it. Well, these windows are tinted, but these windows are so distorted. You can't really tell because I'm not at the right angle. But this glass is so distorted. It's ridiculous. People usually say as smooth as glass. This camera can't pick it up. It has to be on like macro or something. This is not as smooth as glass. This is like all wavy throughout the glass. It's kind of distorting. When you roll it on the window, you can definitely see it. It looks ugly. I mean, you can see as I move this. See how distorted that is? I mean, this glass is just shit. There's a reason why the factory glass costs so much more. Windshields are the same thing. You buy cheap windshields, it's like that. So you want to compare your old and new parts. This one's facing that way, so as you can see, so far up. I didn't realize I was still zoomed in. As you can see, pretty much everything is the same. All you have to do is remove those 3 screws. On the driver's side, I took apart the motor. I took apart this thing. It seemed like the motor failed. The motor was really weak. There's like this really heavy duty spring inside, and the motor can't overcome that. I think what shot both of these at the same time was I cycled it on off, or unlock lock several times, and that just killed it. It used to be pretty good, and then within a year, it was intermittent. It worked really well in the cold. It didn't work in the hot, and then it just completely shot. Like got shot in the last few weeks. It just didn't work at all. So on the new part, it's pretty much the reverse of insulation. Now, it's kind of tricky right here. You have to make sure, like, I believe this is unlocked and this is locked. It's either one of those. I'm not sure. This is passenger side, so it might be reverse. You have to make sure that either unlock or locked has to be in the same position as this, or it won't fit. I'm gonna have to do this 2 hands and off camera, and my tripod broke, so I'm not able to do that. So like, if this is locked, which it should be, I think it should be like that, and you should insert it like that. It should, if not like the driver's side, you should be able to like wiggle it just a little bit while wiggling that, moving it up and down, and it should be able to slide in. So right now, I believe that is locked. Slide it back in the same position. It has a little hook right there, as you can see. You see, it's supposed to go behind that metal bracket. So snap back into place, and while I'm holding that, if I push this, yeah, I think I have it. I have to hold that still while doing this. After you install that, you have to make sure this will move up and down freely, If not, you can have some problems while holding this still, of course. That could be just the play from here. So I'm gonna do that off camera. I think it kind of pushed itself out right now. So let me do that real quick. So I have these screws loosely put into place now, and it looks like it unlocks and locks. If it doesn't, if you're not able to unlock or lock it like it normally does, you're gonna have to redo this. That little finger right here either has to be on the opposite side or something like that. And now I'm going to plug it in and test it. These are loosely installed. It still wiggles a lot. I'm just going to plug this in, see if it works. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm using the camera as a guide. I'm not going to fully put those in because it's kind of a pain in the butt to unclick them. And that one just clicked in. Now, on the driver's side, you cannot test it unless the power windows and power mirrors are plugged in. I don't know why it does that. I think I could have just got that switch right there and plugged it in and tested it, but here we go. Moment of truth. I haven't done this either. And it works. It's moving. Alright, and now it's time to just go ahead and retighten everything back to how it was and reassemble the door panel. Make sure you retighten those 3 screws. Put this vapor barrier on. You might want to stick it back on. And if you can't, just put some tape on it. When you're putting back on the door panel, there's like a couple of clips. You're gonna have to be careful. There used to be a clip here that broke off. A clip on this end right there on the door panel. And that's pretty much it. Put the door panel back on. Make sure you put this top part. Oh yeah, I forgot. After you do that, you're gonna have to slide this back in. It's a little bit hard to do. I'm not gonna completely do it because I haven't timed it yet. I've already kept you long enough, and I'm really hot and exhausted. And I don't know if my lighting is ideal. Let me see if I can do it on camera. So it's supposed to go like this with this little hook like that on this side. This is for the passenger side. Make sure that rubber isn't sliding off too much. There should be little clips right there holding the rubber on. And look up there. And it should just, can't really see. Oh. That is perfect. The driver's side was so much more difficult. It just slides on right there. Wow, that is so much easier. And then watch, I'm gonna stop recording and it's gonna be so much more difficult, just like the driver's side. Just tighten those screws down, put this back on 10mm right here. Then vapor barrier. After you pull this courtesy light out and put it through the hole, reclip that clip, put the door panel on. The door panel has this little clip right here, this little hook. It hooks onto this area. Make sure it goes over, make sure you lock it so it's easier so you don't have to raise it as much. Make sure it goes through the loop. Make sure you have this coming out so you can reconnect your door locks and reclip that part and you're good to go. Thank you for watching this video, and now I'm gonna drink a nice cold beer. Woohoo!